Hello everybody, Rick Malero here with HIS Capital Group. I'm here with a good friend and one of my great team members that have been with me now for over 5 years. Could you believe that?
Can't believe it.
Toshi Endo, who actually started not only as a client, as a team member, but over the years, because of his experience and his dedication and drive and commitment, he's actually grown to become our actual senior leader, if you will, of our underwriting department. So he gets to oversee the quality control. He manages the team that does all of the due diligence. And for that reason, as we talk today about passive investing, I wanted Toshi to share some insights. First and foremost, Toshi, one of the things that I want the audience to really capture here is that when we talk about passive investments, there are really different ways that you can invest passively. There's the owning, and then of course, as we are the private bank, there's also the paper. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about the differences between the two?
Yes. Of course, the one of the obvious one is you take the ownership and buying the property under a company or buying as a group, either one way or the other. And of course, there is the good part and not so good part. And the other one is that we highly favorable approach, which is the note investing or trust deed investment, which is dealing with a paper IOU note, so to speak. So there's good and bad. And briefly to summarize some of the highlights is that for the owning the real estate, there is the possibility of the negative cash flow, management intense, labor needed to be involved, and also could be also value. Drastically market shifted and how much the margin of the safety you built into, but there is a possibility more than you invested. And however, there's a tax benefit and capital appreciation slash the cash flow opportunity. So there is some good part. So if you do it right, it's definitely a profitable approach to create a passive investing opportunity for yourself. And contrary on the note, the paper, it's much more hands-off. There's not so much on the management involved. And however, there is a downside, which is no capital appreciation. But what you're in it for is a cash flow. We kind of talked about the 40-40-20 approach. And you can solidify your cash flow bucket pretty strong with this approach. And there's not too many cash flow approach in the general public available to the general public. So that is very attractive part of it. So then also another one is you're not owning that real estate, so there's no tax benefit. So that's basically a quick summary of pros and cons in the both.
Yeah, and I think, especially for an investor that's getting involved, we always talk about diversification. So, you and I, we own properties together, right? So we have the rental aspect of real estate, which is cash flow, but like you said, sometimes can be a little bit more time consuming. And then we have, of course, a much larger portfolio of loans that we fund. Why? Because every single month we have cash flow coming in. And our mitigated risk is that the loan to values are so strong that in the event of a default, we're in such a great position. In fact, these days, there's a couple of deals we're looking at right now that kind of have stopped paying for their circumstances. And I couldn't buy those properties for that price these days. And so it really cushions you and protects you.